Hello, this video discussing the science of miracles when Jesus walked on water part 2. So there's some details here that are not in the Bible which will be mentioned. Firstly, the reason why would Jesus walk on water? Well, quite simply, the town of Galilee was starving. There might be records to prove this. There'd been no fish for 20 weeks, and no one knows why. When Jesus walked on water, it was this history only. So when we start referring to other histories, you'll find that it never happened. So it is in this history only, and it had never been done before, which makes it unique. When they were out fishing, so Jesus and the apostles arrived at Galilee, and the people complained and said to them that they had no fish and that they're all starving. So Jesus said, "I'll help you. I'll do the best I can. I'll come fishing with you." This is where he met Peter and Matthew, who are in fact brothers. They went out to sea. So there were 400,000 people in Galilee at the time who were counting on Jesus to somehow get some fish, otherwise everyone would starve. The fish avoided the boat, and they were all starving on the boat as well. Jesus then spoke to heaven, to the control room. This was done through angel vision. We had a conversation in what we call idle time, and there was a discussion with God, Mary, and the Holy Spirit, and Jesus, who was also in the control room. I'll explain how a person can be at two different places at the same time later. It involves time travel. So it was authorized by the control room, and then what happened was Jesus went to heaven in idle time, but no one knew. We then conducted rehearsal and choreography of the execution of the miracle. So no one knew why the fish avoided the nets in the boat. Even the control room didn't know. The Holy Spirit tried to shepherd the fish into the nets using telepathy, through wormhole telepathy. And it's 100% when that happens, but to no avail. For some reason, the connection was not working correctly. They were out there at sea for 7 days, until Jesus walked on the water. So Jesus spent several hours fishing and loaded the boat up with fish. He literally walked on water, reached down and grabbed them by the tail and took them over to the boat. He loaded the boat completely. Peter wanted to help him, but when he tried to, he did not enter through the wormhole and wound up in the water. He walked on the water a few paces and then fell in. And we did this deliberately so that it would become a biblical event. Then Peter started to drown, and Jesus walked over to him, grabbed him by the hand and pulled him up into the wormhole with him. And then Peter was able to walk on water as well. And the pair of them grabbed more fish and loaded the boats up. He was told not to go to that area where he'd fallen into the water again. Clearly because there's a wormhole there that would lead him back into the water. So they loaded the boats up and then returned to Galilee. Everyone celebrated and no one ever forgot it. It is still spoken about to this day. After this happened, the fish then came to the boats and nets and ceased avoiding them after Jesus had walked on the water. So when they returned to Galilee, from that moment onwards, fish didn't avoid the boats and the nets. You still have to physically go to where they are. They won't come to you. But I'm just saying they won't avoid you. If they're avoiding you, it's impossible to fish them. I am the Archangel Daniel, and I'm from heaven.